Greetings, YouTube. In this video, I will be finishing up my series on upgrading Athearn Blue Box Passenger cars. This is the last car here in the set. It is the RPO car. It's basically just like the other cars, except it's shorter. So I will be using a different constant lighting board than I used on the other ones. This one is available from OSHpark if you're interested. It's almost exactly like this is the standard one. It's just shorter. Now, if you don't want to get the special one, you can also use the standard lighting board and you can cut it off. As long as you have to cut it off on the side away. This is the side with the diodes. Cut it off on this side. So like right there. Or there's also another one that you could use. It's this little tiny one. It's for cabooses or for really small cars. You could use that and just stick it like right here. So there's options for that. So the board here, and I built this one with just 2 LEDs here and 1 down here to kind of line up with where the windows are. So I'm going to use a piece of double sticky tape here to mount that up like that. And then the wires we need to hook up to these 2 screws here and here. And I'm always a little unsure on these wires. I mean, you want it to be short enough so that they're not making a big mess inside the car, but you do want it long enough so you can take this off if need be. I'm gonna go with, let's go with about that long. Okay, so I've got the wires attached here, and I did design this very simple interior. This is available on Thingiverse. I'll put the link below. You can print it off for yourself. And it's just gonna go in kind of like that, and then we'll put the lid back on. And hey, you can see what I mean about making these wires too long. Seriously. Okay, now let's focus on the bottom here. So, a few things we need to do, starting with changing out these wheels. These you could possibly use because they are metal on one side, but they're plastic on the other. And these particular ones are super, yeah, we're not going to be using those. I will be using 36-inch wheels from Intermountain. Now, when you put these in, you want to make sure that you get the insulated. There's one side is plastic insulated. Now you want, on each truck, you want the plastic insulated on the same side, and on the other truck, you want them on the opposite side. So you're picking up, you need to pick up power from one rail on this truck and the other rail on the other truck. It doesn't matter which one is which, as long as you've got one on each rail. Hopefully that made sense. Yeah, these spin way better than those other ones do. Okay, so I've got the plastic, the insulated ones on this side, so I'm going to do it on this side over here. Okay, we'll also be changing out these couplers. Sorry, keep that in. Okay, the coupler height looks good, but I'm gonna go check it on the gauge just to make sure. Okay, the coupler height works out great, and now we just have one more thing. We need to get the power from the axles over to the center screw. So to do that, I'm gonna get some thin wire. Okay, this is just one strand of stranded wire. What I'll do is I'll take some, what is this, 20 gauge wire, strip all the insulation off, this much of it, and then use each strand individually. I find that is the best for this job. So I like to wrap a few passes around. And then once it's wrapped around the axle here, I'll wrap it around the center screw. A couple times also. And then one more time. I find that 3 loops around the axle is a good compromise between getting good conductivity and not causing too much restriction on how well the axles roll. Yeah, I mean, you can tell that it has some effect on how they roll, obviously, because, you know, it's got to make contact on there, but that should hopefully be all right. The other thing I try to do is I keep the wire to this side because this is the insulated. You don't want, if this were to come and touch this wheel here, it would cause a short circuit. So that's why I wrapped it around the screw here the way I did, so it's coming and pointing this way over to that side. Now I'll do the exact opposite over here on this one because I want it to stay closer to this wheel and not touch that one. Okay, so I have wires wrapped around each of the axles and to the screw. Now would be a good time to test if it actually works. Seems to. All right. Okay, here we are on the power track. The light actually looks pretty good. I mean, you can notice it in the day. It's a little bright at night. I'm guessing the camera probably makes it look worse than it really is. But I think it'll be okay. And no flickering. It doesn't roll the very best just because it's got those wires wrapped around the axles. I mean, that's always going to be a little bit of a drag. And this is the train that it's going to go into. It'll go right here with the baggage car, the coach car, dome car, diner car, and observation car. So I will go ahead and there's some other trains in the way. I've got to get out of here, and then I'll get this out and we'll run it for a little bit. All right, so here we have the entire consist. Here's the new RPO car we just got done with. The baggage car. Which one's that? That's the coach. Dome, diner, and observation. Here they are at night.